Talk today. I am Gaby, and in this episode, we're diving into something that's becoming a core part of everyday life, e-money. From mobile wallets to online banking, digital payments have exploded in popularity. But behind confidence, there are serious challenges that often go to explore this issue, and I'm joined by two experts. The first is Hafid, a research specializing in digital finance. Hi Hafid, great to have you here.
Okay, hi Gaby, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to join the conversation or podcast today.
We also have Jody, cybersecurity analyst with experience across multiple fintech platforms. Hi Jody.
Hi Gaby, glad to be here.
Hafid, let's begin with the broader picture. E-money use has exploded in the past few years. What major challenges emerge from this kind of rapid adoption?
Okay, the biggest challenge is over dependence on digital infrastructure. People rely on the digital wallets for transaction, food, bills, and everything. So when there's a system outage, even for an hour, the impact is massive. Shops can process payments, public transport stalls, and people have no backup option. The convenience is great, but it's creating a fragile ecosystem where one technical issues disrupt an entire community.
So we're building a payment system that isn't as resilient cash.
Exactly. Digital first shouldn't mean digital only.
Hafid from the security angle, any quick touch in this rapid shift?
Yes, fast adoption usually means users don't fully understand the risk yet. So while the system grows quickly, user awareness lags behind, and that creates opening for scammers.
Let's talk about accessibility. Hafid, how does money affect communities with limited digital literacy?
This is a huge issue. E-money assumes that everyone has a smartphone, stable internet, and the knowledge to use digital apps. But many elderly use rural communities or low incomes group either don't have the device or aren't confident using them. What happened is a digital divide. One group gets faster, simpler financial service, while another group is excluded not because of money, but because of the technology. It becomes a new form of inequality.
And it's ironic because digital finance is supposed to increase inclusion.
Exactly, poor implementation can do the opposite.
Jody, anything to add on this?
Only that low digital literacy increases the case of failing for scam, especially when people can distinguish real customer service from fake ones.
Let's shift toward privacy. Hafi, money creates a huge amount of data. What does that mean for users?
It means users are constantly being tracked where they shop, how often they spend, what categories they spend on, and at what time. This data is valuable for business and governments, but it also raises for the question, who controls your personal information? Beyond that, there's also a risk of data monetization. Some companies use spending habits to push target advertisement or to build behavioral profiles.
Jadi, from your side, what are the biggest privacy risks?
Mainly data leaks, and if a platform user data, millions of identities can be exposed at onset.
Let's talk governance habit. Why is regulating money so difficult?
Okay, because digital payments innovate faster than laws can be written. Regulators face several problems. The first is ambitious responsibility. When fraud happens, it's not always clear whether the bank, the digital wallet provider, or the user is at fault. The second, evolving threats. New types of scam and appear every year. The third, cross-border challenge. Different countries have different rules, make it international digital payments and sometimes risky.
And that creators loopholes where user can believe unprotected.
Exactly.
Have it. Your thoughts.
Stronger regulation help reduce fraud, but the challenge is finding a balance that doesn't slow down innovation.
Let's talk about something people often underestimate, the psychological effect of going cashless. Have it.
Digital spending feels lighter. With cash, you physically hand over bills, you see money leaving your hand. But with a tap or scan, it's just number moving on the screen. That disconnect can lead to impulse buying, difficult budgeting. In some countries, digital wallets are even designed to encourage spending, promotion, cashback, notification. It's behavioral, psychological at work.
So while money makes life easier, it also makes money easier to lose.
Exactly.
Jadi, do you see this reflected in user behavior when dealing with fraud?
Yes, when people overspend or lose trick, they become less and more likely to click something risky. It's all connected.
Hafid, now let's get into something you deal with everyday, cyber threats. What's the most common type of fraud in the money space?
I think phishing it's simple but effective. Hackers send fake link or message that look official, tricking user into giving away their login info or OTP. Another major one is account takeover, where attackers gain access to a user SIM card or email to reset password, and of course fake customer service accounts.
And the scams work because users trust digital platform too easily. Jadi,
Exactly, and scammer take benefit of that trust.
before we close, I want to talk about solution. Hafid, what improvement do you think will shape the future of e-money?
I see three major shifts coming. The first, interoperability. User will be able to transfer money across platform. The second, better consumer protection laws, clear rules on fraud, that data rights and platform responsibilities. The third, stronger infrastructure, more reliable server, faster internet, and alternative system to handle outage. This change will help make digital payment more resilient.
Lee, what about the security feature ensure?
More biometric, better encryption, and smart fraud detection system powered by AI.
This has been an eye-opening conversation. Money brings speed and confidence, but as with Sintri, it also brings challenge. privacy issue, security risk, overspending, accessibility, and regulatory. A big thank you to our guests, Hafid and Jody, for their insight.
Okay, thank you, Gaby. I was great to discuss this issue.
Thanks for having me.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us. Make sure to follow Tech Talk today for more episodes like this. Stay safe, stay informed, and see you next time.